Yeah. So good evening to all. Thanks for your patience and thanks for joining the demo. So there are new audience in today's session, and also there are a few audience who joined on the last Saturday. Okay, just start it from the beginning so that it will be refreshed for everyone in today's session. Okay. Yeah. About the documentation part, need not to worry. Anything you required, I'll be providing it. Okay. Don't worry on that. Okay. I'll just start with my introduction, and from there we'll begin. So my name is Ravi Kumar, and I'm based out of Bangalore, and I have about 11 years of experience in IT industry, where I do consulting, implementation, and administration of Microsoft and VMware product. So in cloud services, I take care of Azure Active Directory administration, and also Azure administration and migration to Azure, and also I take care of Office 365 implementation and migrating to Office 365. And in on-prem, in virtualization, I take care of VMware administration as well as Hyper-V. And Microsoft services, I take care of Windows Server administration and any roles or applications running on top of Windows, I take care of it. So this is a brief introduction about myself. And about this course, wherein this is an AZ-104, which is an Azure Administrator course. So this training is about 30 or 30 plus hours. Okay. And also I can say 90% of practical oriented training this is. So wherein we'll be discussing the theory concept, we'll be discussing about the service, and I'll be showing how to deploy the service. And even you can do the same on your lab. So I'll be helping you to create your lab accounts. And also wherein we'll be working on scenario based tasks, and also there are a couple of services we work on a real-time scenarios. Okay, so that is one thing. And when we talk about this course content, so this AZ-104, wherein whatever is required for Azure administration certification will be covered in this entire training. Along with that, few things are additionally added, like the day-to-day activities things. Okay, so what all we are going to learn, right? So we are going to learn first part on the overview. We learn what is cloud, what are the benefits of cloud, and what are the types of cloud services, what is Azure, what are the ways we manage the Azure. We'll be discussing in the module 1, and in module 2, wherein we'll be discussing like how do you create your Microsoft tenant, how do you create your subscription, what are the types of subscription, what all you can do in the subscription, how do you manage the resources. We'll be learning in module 2, and in module 3, wherein we'll be learning one of the service, which is a compute service, how to create the virtual machine in Azure. So what are the prerequisite and how you can deploy and how you can manage, we'll be learning in Azure in the module 3. And also we'll be learning like what is ARM template as a part of automation, where how you can build your custom template. So we'll be learning about the ARM templates overview in module 3. And in module 4, wherein we'll be trying to understand, so whenever you get a requirement, how do you, like whenever you get a requirement to host any services, so first thing we always look what is the charges, right? So with the help of Azure calculator, we'll be getting the estimation. So we'll be discussing how to put your requirement, how to get the estimation on using the Azure calculator. And also we'll be covering on storage solution, like how do you use Microsoft Azure as your storage solution to keep your data, how do you manage in the Azure storage. We'll be learning on module 5. In module 6, we'll be learning about the networking. So what is virtual network? How do you create a virtual network in Azure? When you have multiple network, how do you connect each other using the VNet peering? And when you have your on-premises infrastructure, how do you connect to your Azure using the, like how do you connect to your Azure using the site-to-site VPN, as well as from individual device using the point-to-site VPN? And also how do you deploy your application in a load balance way. So we'll be discussing about the load balancing solution in Azure. And also how do you control your on-premises infrastructure, like how do you control your Azure network, internal network, the traffic flow. So using the network security group, we'll be covering on network security group. And with this, we'll be covering the core components like compute, storage, and network. So then we'll be covering the day-to-day activity with respect to the virtual machine, using the disk, network, or the snapshot, and creating the custom images. How do we do? We'll be learning on the module 8. And we'll be learning if you want to host your virtual machine for your application in a high availability way, how you can host your virtual machine in a high availability. We'll be learning like what is availability set, what is availability zone, and also what is scale set we'll be learning on. Okay, and also we'll be learning two PaaS service. One is what do you say, this one? What is one will be learning the app service, another one will be learning the SQL database, like how you are going to create an what do you say, this one, the platform as a service, right? So these are the two services wherein we'll be learning on. Okay, and next we'll be learning, like, as a part of identity and access management. So we'll be learning what is Azure Active Directory, what are the Azure AD features, how do you integrate your on-prem AD with Azure AD. We'll be learning on module 13, sorry 12. And also when you run your workload in on-prem, and when you're working or running your workload in the cloud, how do you protect it as a part of backup? How do you take a backup of your on-premises environment as well as Azure environment using the Azure recovery services? And also we'll be learning about the Azure monitoring service and also the troubleshooting, like how do you monitor your workload in cloud and how do you troubleshoot that, we'll be learning. And also we'll be learning the introduction to container, how do you host the container services in Azure, and what is Kubernetes, right? So these are the things what we'll be covering in this entire training. So apart from this, any other topics you want to include with respect to the Azure administration, you can tell me, we can include at the last. Okay, so these are the things what we'll be covering in this entire training. So any doubt, any questions on this? Okay, if anyone has any doubt, any questions, please unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay. All right, so now the next part, right? So let's take example, like now you have decided to learn Microsoft Azure, right? And what is the learning path? So you can see a lot of certification numbers are available in the internet. So you have been chosen AZ104, right? So what is next, or is there any prerequisites? Let's try to understand that, the certification or learning path in Microsoft Cloud. Okay, so here you can see AZ900 is the Azure Fundamentals one, and it's a optional paper, right? So AZ900 is a Azure Fundamental optional one. So which talks about the complete fundamentals, like what is cloud, what is Azure, and what are the services in Azure. So it will be covering the theory part. And there are two main tracks. One is Azure Administration and other one is the developing solution for Microsoft Azure. So Azure Administration is purely administration part. So here we are not developing anything. We will be managing the infrastructure in Microsoft Azure. Okay. So AZ103 was the earlier paper code, and last year it has been modified and it's now called as AZ104, which we are learning. Okay. And for AZ104, there is no prerequisite in the sense in the Azure side, wherein we'll be learning from the scratch with respect to the cloud services perspective. And there are few prerequisites. We'll discuss that in the next slide. Okay. And after AZ104, right? So if you are looking for Azure DevOps, right? So if you are looking to learn Azure DevOps, so one path is completing your AZ104 plus AZ400. So with this, you'll be learning or you'll be certified as a Azure DevOps engineer expert. Or if you're looking in a developing solution in Azure, so then your track is 204. Earlier it was called 203. So 204 plus AZ400, wherein you'll be Azure DevOps engineer expert. So this is the career track for your DevOps part. If at all, if you are looking for architect level, so you can directly take AZ300 plus, sorry, 300 was earlier code, the latest code is 303. Okay, plus 304. So earlier it was called 301, now it is called 304. So with this, wherein you will be certified as a Azure Solution Architect expert. So there is no prerequisite for 303, directly you can take, but still here you'll be learning on the architect level. You don't learn on the base level. So you should have the knowledge of administration, only then you can go with architect. Otherwise, you will not be learning the baseline thing. So this is the certification path in Microsoft Cloud. And after this, if you want to learn on security, you can, yes, you can include AZ500 also. That talks about the Azure security. And there are other tracks like data science and all. So that is a different track. So along with 104 or DevOps or your architect, you can add up AZ 500 as well.
Hello, hello, Ravi.
Mhm.
Sorry, suddenly your voice is stopped, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, please go on, please. How about now? Is it audible?
Yeah, it's audible. You said Azure data science something. There it was stopped. After that, we haven't listened anything.
Okay. So that is a different task wherein you'll be looking into it. The sense wherein there is a different track. Okay. So data science is a different track. So what you can do after completing administration later, if you are interested in security, learn and understand, yes, you can add up AZ 500 also. That will be like the continuous path on the cloud, or like administration plus the security will also help. Okay. So this is about the learning part. Any doubt, any questions on this?
Not a way.
Okay, so the recordings will be shared. Each session will be recorded. We'll be getting the recording session. And this training will be coming from 8 p.m. onwards, 8 p.m. IST to 9 p.m. IST. So Monday to Friday, 1 hour. Okay, all right. So let's move to the next slide. Okay. Yes, Suresh. Any questions, Suresh?
No. I'm about to ask pre-request. You have opened the same page. No problem.
Okay, cool. All right. Yes. Okay, so now what will happen here, right? So wherein we can see different type of audience here, right? So let's consider like I'm the fresh year. I just passed out my graduation, and I'm planning to start my career as a cloud admin. Okay, and where yes, yes, if you are a fresher, yes, the cloud administration and the Azure admin AZ104 is the right track where you can start your career as a cloud admin. Or if you are an already working in the infrastructure or the administration domain, like working on network storage, virtualization, or whatever, yes, for them also, even it's a good start for them as a Azure admin. Or if you are from a different domain and you plan to start your journey as a cloud admin, yes, even you can start. Or if you are completely from a non-technical background also, yes, Azure admin is also the right track where you can learn. But still there is some prerequisite, in the sense the cloud part will be covering. So whenever I say firewall and the networking, right, so wherein you should know some basics or the prerequisite part, so which you should be knowing it. So if you know, well and good. If you know expertise level, well and good, but you should know the basics things, so that will help you. But again, as and when there is a requirement, you should start adapting it, because you will not only touch the cloud services, you'll be touching the on-premises as well. But still, few things whatever we are discussing here, which is a prerequisite, you manage on-prem as well as cloud also. So you should be having an experience or understanding of managing the OS, right? So the basic administration of Windows and Linux is required. Like how do you connect, and if at all if you're not able to connect, what is the error message, how do you troubleshoot, right? So these are things what you should be knowing. And also you should be knowing about the virtualization part. So basic understanding of virtualization, what is virtualization, what is virtual machine, virtual disk, virtual network, so on. And also you should be knowing about the cloud. So the cloud part will be covering, don't worry. And also the storage part, like in on-premises, what are the types of storage we use and how it will work, what are the terminologies we use, some basics about it. And also the networking, right? So you should know about the networking. What is networking, like what is IP address, what are the types of IP, what are the classes of IP, right? What is subnetting, what are the network devices. So all this thing you should be knowing it. Okay, so anyways, these are the baseline. If you know on expertise level also, it's fine. Okay, or if you don't know, yes, you can learn along with this training. So if you require anything related to this, definitely I'll show you, don't worry. So anyways, there is a ask, so to provide the basic learning path, right? So I'll do it, don't worry. Okay, And also you should be knowing about some terminologies like what is DNS, what is VPN, what is firewall, what is encryption, what is Active Directory, what is domains trust, right? And also what is a backup, why it is required, what is disaster recovery, why it is required, how it will help, right? So all these terminologies you should be knowing. So this is a prerequisite along with the course you can learn. And if you need anything assistance on this, you can let me know. I can share you the links, you can go through it. If you have any doubts, yes, I can clarify that. Okay, yeah, so this is about the prerequisites. Don't worry, after this class I'll share you some link, you can refer that. Okay, yeah, any doubt, any questions? Okay, all right, so let's move to the next slide. So now what will be the cloud admin role here, right? So the cloud admin or whatever the day-to-day job, no? So here, wherein you'll be managing your entire cloud life cycle model. See, one more thing I just want to tell you here. So here we are not going to manage the data center, or we are not going to manage the physical server hardware like server, network, storage. We don't manage any physical thing here. So that's why wherein we don't require any expertise knowledge. But still, if you are willing to learn, that's good. Or if you have any knowledge also, that's good. So that will help you better. Okay. And here, wherein we manage the entire life cycle, the entire IT life cycle model in the cloud, like developing your solution and uh, hosting your solution, testing your solution, hosting your solution, and uh, upgrading your existing solution in the cloud, decommissioning, right? So entire IT lifecycle model we will manage in the Azure. So that is one thing. Okay. So wherein we'll be taking the end user request, right? So we take the end user request. Based on the request, what we are going to do, we are going to provide the services like creating the workload, removing the workload, monitoring the workload. Okay. And also like if required, wherein we'll be working with the external vendors as well, like your networking ISPs or any other the software or the hardware vendor with respect to integration or something like that. Okay. And you'll be managing your Azure via PowerShell. Sorry, you can manage your Azure via command line utility as well as through the graphical user interface. You can do it with the both. Okay, so wherein you'll be managing the OS like Windows or Linux, and also you'll be managing your virtualization, like whatever you host in the cloud, the compute, network, storage, everything will be virtualized. Okay, and you will be working on it. Okay, so this is about the day-to-day activity as a cloud admin. Any doubt, any questions on this? Okay, if at all, if I'm going fast, please let me know. I can slow down.
It's okay, Ravi. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So by this, we covered the basic understanding about the Azure and the training part. Okay. So okay, hold on. Let me move to the next slide. Okay, certification part. Yes, it's advisable that you take a certification after completing this course, wherein the certification will help you with respect to your job. Okay, so any requirement with respect to the certificate, right? So guidance will be provided. You need not to worry on that part. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. Hold on. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so now what we will do, let me show you the Azure portal, and let me show you like creating some workload in Azure and how do you connect it, right? So you get some idea there, then we can see further on it. Okay. Okay, so let me open the Azure portal here. So you can manage Azure using two ways. One is through the command line utility and the other one is through the PowerShell. Okay, PowerShell or the shell command, we can do it. Let me clean this up. Okay, let's do this. So now let's take example wherein you have a requirement to create some virtual machine in cloud where you want to host your application, right? So now you have a requirement to create one Windows server with a 2 core or 2 CPU with 8 GB RAM, and you want this machine to be available in US, in some part of US. Will take east part of US. So let's see how I can deploy the virtual machine, right? So let me sign out here. Okay, let me check the chats. Okay, recordings will be shared. I'm on a call center guy. Can I get a job after doing this course? Yes, 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 you can try. So that's why I told you, like cloud administration, any fresher can do it. And also if you are from different domain, yes, even you can try and you can get the job. So only thing is you understand the theory concept. So wherein you will be having a place where you can learn, you will be having a place where you can practice it. So do the lab. So whatever the lab I'm showing here, no, the real time will also be done the same, right? So the same portal you will be using in a real time. So whatever I'm deploying now will be doing the same thing on the real time also. There's no difference. Okay. So only thing you have to put your effort, learn the technology. Yes, you can approach. Definitely you'll get your job. Okay. And also one thing I can say, the cloud market is doing good in the, like the cloud services or the cloud adoption is doing good in the market, like past 5 years and also in future. And nowadays we can see one of the highly paid industries, the IT industry, right? Wherein due to this pandemic, most of them are working from home with the help of technology, wherein they are able to do it, right? So that is what you can see. And also the cloud services adoption is also going very high in the market. So that is the reason wherein people are learning Azure, AWS, right? So these two are the providers, or these two are the vendors who are widely used across in the market. Okay. Yeah. So it's a right time. What I can say, like you can start your cloud journey, like next 5 years, 10 years, right? You'll have a very good scope with respect to the cloud administration part. Okay. Yeah, and also one more thing, like if you have not shared your contact details, your phone number and email ID, please ping privately with the Visualpath Administrator, right? So we can see Visualpath Administrator. Yeah, so Visualpath Admin. So please share your contact details. So they'll be in touch with you to share the details, like any materials as well as the upcoming meetings as well as the recording. So share your mobile number and email address. And also Ram, I'll be sharing the links, so which our administrator will be sending to you. Okay.
Sure, sure. Thank you very
So
much.
what I'll do, I'll ask her to share with everyone, so everyone can take it up. So what I can do is, so I'll share you some link where you can understand the basics of networking, basics of virtualization, basics of storage concepts. Okay. Later on, we'll add up one by one. Okay. All right. So now to log into your Azure, right? So this is the URL portal.azure.com. Okay. Type in your email ID and provide your login credential. Yeah, you can share your contact details privately with the Visualpath admin. Okay. You have option to choose, and you select a Visualpath admin, and you can share your details. Okay, so now I have a requirement to create a virtual machine. Okay, so here you can search in the portal. So this is how wherein you will be doing here. So you don't here, I'm not touching their hardware, like their virtualization or their physical hardware or the physical storage or physical network. So everything, the entire infrastructure for your organization which you're running on the Microsoft Cloud, you will be managing via SDDC. SDDC, we can say software defined data center. So wherein you'll be putting your requirement over the portal through the UI or through the command line, the services will be deployed and you can start consuming it. Okay, here I want to host a virtual machine. So I search here virtual, I can see the virtual machine console here. So I'm going to deploy one virtual machine here. So create a new virtual machine. So this is how you will put your requirement here. So that's why I told there is no expertise level required in virtualization here, but still, if you know, well and good. And also if you are interested to learn, that is also well and good, because we see a lot of things are moving from on-prem to cloud. So if you know the virtualization on the on-prem like VMware or whatever, so that will help you more in terms of your job requirement. Okay, so now let me deploy this resource. So for now, I'll just straightforward deploy it. So when we come to the virtual machine deployment part, there I'll explain you more details. So here I'll say this is my web server. So which region you want to host, you can select the region. And high availability I don't require for now. So what is the OS? I require Windows Server. What is the hardware specification? You have n number of, like, you have a very good specification, you get it here. So let me go with a 2 CPU with 8 GB RAM. And I'm creating one local user account to log into the server. Okay, and I'll just create this. So there are other properties configuration. For now, I'm just going with the default settings. So in this, you can see I'm consuming the compute service, I'm consuming the storage service, I'm consuming the network services, which is deploying on a backend, which is making one virtual server to host. And the way you access the virtual machine from your on-prem, like taking RDP if it's a Windows, or taking SSH if it's a Linux, the same way you can connect your machine. So this is one of the service which we call as a infrastructure as a service. That is one example here. So we have a platform as a service and so on that we'll be discussing, don't worry. Okay, so this is how you will put your requirement, what service you want to deploy, and according to that the services will be deployed. Then you can connect in a regular way, and then you can manage from there, like hosting your applications and managing your infrastructure. You will be doing it via this portal. Okay, we'll just wait for this to get deployed.
And Ravi, whether this portal access, right, we can able to create it, right?
Yes, yes.
Is there any prerequisites required for this?
You require a credit card, you require a phone number, you require email ID. With that, you can create your account.
Okay.
I'll be helping
But
you to.
it is a 1 month free account, right?
Yeah, 1 month free account you'll get. So you can use 1 month. Afterwards, you can find another card, another phone number, another email ID. You can create one more.
Okay. And how much credits they can give you for free account, and how much of amount they provide?
Okay, don't worry. See, usually you'll get 14,500 if you're signing up in India. US, you'll get $200. That's enough. 1 month you can run. So here also you can see I have a free credit of 4,600. So what I usually do during this lab, I'll create the services, I'll explain, and I'll do everything. Once the lab is done, I'll delete it off so that I can effectively use for 30 days. Don't worry, I'll guide you how to do it.
Okay.
Ravi, if you don't have a credit card, then how it's possible to do?
Yeah, earlier it was working with debit card, and like later on they removed it. I'm not sure why. Yeah, but still credit card is required. Okay, yeah, required a credit card.
I mean, if anyone is they don't have credit card, so how they going to create and how
See, credit
that's an
card
issue for.
no, that's right. See, credit card, why they're asking is to identify the customer. So this free trial is valid only for one person one time. Okay, so that is the reason this has been asked. Otherwise, there is a kind of unnecessary utilization of the services, no? So that is a limitation. So we can't help on that part. Okay, is that fine? Shall we move on? See, creating account, I'll guide you. Okay, don't worry on that.
Fine.
See, okay, that's fine. It's not required to discuss here. Okay, all right. And one more thing, Aniruddha, Bhaskar, Pawan, Rafi, can you please share your contact details? So your email ID and phone number. So the materials and other things can be shared with you. Otherwise, we'll not be having connection with you. Okay. Yeah, please share your contact details with Visualpath admin. All right. So now you can see the virtual machine has been deployed here. Okay. So let me connect to this virtual machine. So the regular way, how do you connect now? The same way. So here also you can see the IP address is assigned. So I'm connecting this machine with the RDP. So it's a Windows machine. How do you connect in on-prem? The same way. There is no difference here. Okay, if it's a Linux, you'll be taking SSH. So I have an application here. So I have a remote desktop application. I'll be using that. Okay, so let me put the IP address here and let me connect this. Okay, now you can see I've connected to this server. So this is how wherein you will be connecting your on-premises server. The same way you are here also will be doing it. So from here onwards, you can install your application, and from here you can manage it. So underlying thing, we are not managing it, right? So that is what we can say here on the cloud. Okay. Yeah. Any doubt? Any questions on this?
No, Ravi. Same like RDP, right? We just MSDSC and we can log in the server. Same like on-premise server.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. One second, hold on. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah. So this is one of the service which is an IaaS service. So wherein we have taken via RDP, which is a Windows machine. Okay. And also if it's a Linux, you'll be taking SSH. Okay. And there are some services which is platform as a service where we'll be directly managing the platform. So that we'll be discussing later. Okay. Don't worry on that part. So RDP is a remote desktop. Okay, RDP is a remote desktop protocol. So here what will happen in your on-premises also, you have a server it will be in your data center, and the data center can be in same place or different place. So if you want to connect that machine, if it's a physical computer, you go there directly, you will connect it. So the servers will be in data center or in same place or different place. You'll be taking remote. So RDP is a remote desktop protocol. So Windows machine, we use this protocol to take remote desktop. So now I connected now. This machine is physically running on one of the physical hardware which is located in east part of US. So this is a Windows server. So I've connected this server via remotely using the RDP protocol, which is remote desktop protocol. So you can see it's a Windows server 2012 R2. Clear on this? Okay. Any doubt, any questions so far, guys? So today we have seen like introduction to myself, and also we have seen the course content, and also we have discussed the certification track. We have discussed the what all we are going to learn and what is the prerequisites, and also we have seen one service creating and hosting in Azure. So let's hold on here. So if you have any doubt, any questions related to this training, please feel free to ask me.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hello,
please go
Ravi.
on. Yes.
Yeah, Ravi. Myself, Suresh. I total have almost 9 years of experience in storage admin.
Okay.
Now, I would like to start my career in cloud.
Okay.
So, I have done some research before learning into the cloud, what it is exactly. I have a little bit of knowledge on Windows, Linux, database, storage, and backup, all those things. But most of them are concentrating on automations in the cloud itself. I could see
Hmm.
that in our entire course, there is no automation except the PowerShell. Are we going to include any kind of like Terraform, all those things? I mean, especially Terraform was using for cloud
Perfect.
automation, right? Mostly.
Yeah, here we'll
Uh,
learn templates as a part of
sorry,
automation.
sorry. Please go ahead.
Yeah, here we'll be learning on ARM template, overview of ARM template. So if at all, if you're looking for Terraform, so that's a different track.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what I advise is you understand the cloud platform, how to create the services, what are the types of services, what are the limitations, what are the prerequisites of the services, right? Then you can
Yeah.
take the next on automation. You can learn Terraform or anything you can add on.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. So Aniruddha, like what is the salary package we can expect after Azure Admin? So that depends upon no wherein one is what number of year of experience. Like if you are looking as a fresher on Azure Admin, but you have a technical experience, so it depends upon your existing package and it varies. But yes, cloud services they are paying very good in the market, wherein the much amount of information, right? So just now the Suresh asked automation part, so that will also be asked in the market, right? So based on that, your package will also be going, right? So I can say you can expect a good amount of salary package, even depends upon your number of your experience on the relevant field or relevant IT field.
Hi.
Yeah, Pawan.
Could you please explain the migration part also here?
So migration part is a part of architect, but still if you require, we'll include that. Don't worry.
Okay, but nowadays everyone here is looking for
Yeah,
migration.
I totally agree on that part. That's right. See what will happen now. Here we'll see different type of audience. So few of them will be more content with this itself, and few of them are looking on it. Definitely will cover. So migration, what I can say is like we can do 90% of practicals because I don't have the on-prem infrastructure to show you, but still we'll cover the topics. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
See any topic relevant to the Azure admin now. If something you want to add, let me know. At the end of the training, we'll add that. Okay, don't worry on that. Okay, yeah. Any other doubt? Any other questions, guys? Okay, please share your contact details if you have not shared. Okay, so that the materials and other things can be shared via email and the mobile number. Yeah, any other doubt? Any other questions, guys?
No, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. All right then. So if you don't have any doubt, any questions, we'll just hold on here. So we'll connect tomorrow and we'll be starting our module 1. Okay. So if you have any doubt, any questions, yes, we can discuss in the next class. Okay. If you have any technical doubt, any questions, meanwhile, if you want to ask, you can always reach us to the mobile number. So we'll reach you back and we'll update you on that.
Ravi, last one question, please excuse me.
Yeah,
Bhaskar.
Bhaskar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Writing a 303 or 304 certification, is it? So do
Okay.
we have to complete any pre-required certifications also, or we can
Not
directly write?
directly right,
Oh.
but what will happen now in 303, like if you're looking training on 303, the topics will be covered on the next level. So that is the only thing.
Yeah.
If you know the
Yes.
Azure admin knowledge, then you are good. Like you can learn 303 directly and you can take the certification 303 directly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Bhaskar, we don't have your contact.
Yeah, I will share. Will you teach 303, 304 also, Ravi? I mean, those curriculum also?
I usually do that, but the audience will be very less, so that's why.
Okay. Got it.
See why? Because nowadays we see people are moving from different domain to the cloud. So that is one thing, and few of them will have a light experience on Azure. So they'll be looking for 303 or 304. All right. First thing you'll look for 303. So that is the only thing. But still, we can add it up. So what I can guide you, like, do you have experience in Azure?
Yeah, I have a little bit experience.
Okay, I mean to say, wherein there are a lot of things like the dependency, like when you want to create a VM, when you want to move the things, and when you want to configure the high availability, what are the prerequisites, right? So what are the contents I just showed, if you have that knowledge, then yes, you can look for 3 not. I suggest that. Okay, but if you don't know that, but I suggest go through the admin. Once you learn, have a hands-on on each and everything, then you can go to the next level. Otherwise, what will happen if you go to 303, wherein we don't talk on the baselines. So when I say a virtual machine has to be deployed in a high availability, either availability set or availability zone. So we don't discuss what is availability set, what is availability zone there.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm
So
just suggesting.
to be part of this training as well as I want to parallelly prepare for that also. That's it.
Yeah, you can do
If
it.
you have any batches, please let me know those things.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Thank
Okay.
you, Ravi. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaskar. And Rafi, we don't have your contact details. If you can share your contact details, that will be helpful so that we can be in touch with you. Okay, please share your email ID and phone number to the Visualpath admin. Okay. All right. So any other doubt, any other questions, let me know. Okay. All right, no worries. Anyways, tomorrow we'll be connecting from same time. So we'll be continuing our training. So any doubt, any questions, we can discuss tomorrow. Okay. So I'll be sharing the link. So you'll be getting your the basic information things. So you can go through it. Okay. And materials part, don't worry. So whatever the slides I run and whatever the materials I show, I'll share with you. Okay. Don't worry on that part. And also the certification part. So I'll guide you on the certification as well. Yes, after completing this course, take 2 weeks after your break and learn, and you can give your certification as well. Okay. Okay. All right then. So if you don't have any questions, we'll just hold on here. We'll connect back tomorrow and we'll discuss further. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. See you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.